Welcome back to the Average Joe Rating Climb. We're 1548. As a reminder, our opponents do get their points refunded, and they can see that this is a speedrun account if they click on it to check. Okay, the Caro-Kann. I'm going to play the usual Gambit that I like to play against this. So we're going to develop the knight. Controls the center. Most people are going to take, and we're going to bring our bishop here, lining up on the weak f7 pawn. Now, the most common move, okay, I was going to say is knight f6. Bishop f5 is also played. And what we're going to do now is Gambit this pawn. And the idea is that if they take us, we're happy because not only do we get a quick knight developing move, we're going to recapture with the knight, but we're also happy because it opens up the f-file. And that allows us to attack here with our rook in ways that we would not be able to do if there's a pawn blocking the rook, obviously, right? So this is exactly what we're hoping for. We're going to go ahead and castle, and you'll notice the rook is lined up. And the way that we follow up usually is going to be with knight to g5 to unleash that and at the same time create these threats over here. Okay, b5 is probably a good move. I think I'm going to go back to b3 to keep the bishop here because that's usually where the tactical opportunities are. We could also go here and offer a trade, but generally speaking, I'm going to try to keep this bishop. So let's go back to b3. And of course, if they push again, we'll move the knight maybe here, maybe here. Shouldn't really cause us too many problems. Bishop to d6. Okay, so let's think about this. Normally, I'm going to play knight to g5. Now, this is not the typical move, so I just want to calculate, does that change anything? I mean, yeah, there's maybe a threat here, but that's not really a big deal. Knight to g5 is defended by my bishop, so I'm not hanging a knight, and I start to create the threats. Yeah, and this is probably going to be the best move, so let's go ahead and play knight to g5. And already we have a tactic, and if black is not careful, we're going to take here with our knight. You guys want to pause? Why would we want to take here with our knight? Oh, well, there you go. He's going to force us to do it. Why would we want to take on f7? Well, if you had a chance to think about that, you're going to get to see the answer in just a second here. It has to do with the bishop, which is lined up here. It's pinning that pawn. That pawn can no longer defend the bishop, so we simply grab here with the check, and basically we want a pawn, but we also exposed black's king, which is really the important part of this, right? Because we sacrificed the pawn earlier. Material-wise, it's still equal, 6-6, but black's king is probably in trouble. Okay, so how do we proceed? Well, whenever the king is exposed, you always want to consider sacrifices that make it even more exposed, right? Because maybe by luring the king here, we can somehow get a checkmate with our queen and our rook. So takes. Do I have a good follow-up? That's kind of the question, like something like queen e2 check. Not really. He could take my rook. Looks dangerous. But even if he just goes back, I'm like, okay, why did I give up my bishop? I don't really see what I'm going to do after that. So I don't think we want to give up our bishop. What else do we have? Well, let's see. Queen h5 is an interesting move because it's a check. The knight is pinned, so maybe we want to go there. The question is what happens on g6. Now, that's an interesting move because it's a fork, but we also might have a tactic of luring the king, and then we take with the queen. That's getting pretty wild, so definitely something to think about. Another move is knight to e4, just trying to attack these pieces and bring another piece to the attack. Very interesting position already. Let's see. This one, if the king goes here, we're happy with the bishop coming in. If the king goes to f8, I guess we're still happy. We just take the pawn. This is still pinned. If the king goes to, let's just say, e7, we might have a bit of a problem because our queen is going to be in danger. So I don't think I want to go there. Okay. So knight e4 looks good because maybe we just want to take. Let's see. What about the move queen e2? We attack this way. It's pretty easy for black to defend though. So I don't think that's going to be the best move. Okay, so I'm leaning towards here. I guess bishop f4 has its advantages too, because then this rook can come into the game, which actually might be very useful. So bishop f4, in the spirit of developing pieces, looks pretty nice. My rook, I don't know if that's going to be a problem. Not right away, maybe later, but we could trade here. Yeah, I kind of like that. I think getting this rook into the game seems like maybe one of the best things I can do. So rather than moving this knight or moving my queen, since I don't see like a super clear and obvious reason, I think I'm going to go with bishop to f4. So now I've decided my move. Let me just do a blunder check. Make sure if he trades, that looks fine. This is defended. If he tries to move the king to take my rook, this will be check. that. I'm okay sacking my rook in that case. Yeah, it looks fine. So I did my little blunder check. I mean, I didn't check every single move, but I checked enough that I think I'm comfortable with this. So let's go ahead. Okay, he does go with g6, trying to trap my rook. But here's the thing, guys. Okay, whenever you see pieces that are in a configuration like this with a knight, you always want to ask yourself, wait a second, do I have a tactic? And I think the answer is yes. And I think it's just a simple take. Because if we take and the king takes, guess what? That's a fork. That's an exceptional fork. And I'm going to get 2 pieces for a rook. Remember, 2 pieces is better than a rook. So that's a good trade for me. And if the queen takes, well, I'm just going to take here immediately. And again, I get 2 pieces for the rook. So that's probably the best move. Let's go ahead and take it. But like this should jump out at you as like, wait a second, there might be a tactic because the knight can jump there. It's a forking pattern. And that should be, that's like a big clue. Okay. So yeah, he goes for that. So I think we go with the knight. I could even take first and then fork the pieces, actually. I wonder if that's even stronger. Maybe it is. Because if I go here, I don't know if he's actually going to go. I don't think you can survive if you come up to try to take a piece. But regardless, maybe I just take it. Maybe I just take it. You can't take back because of the fork. It's still there. Oh, well, you can, but there you go. Exceptional fork, right? And it's GG. So, by the way, our opponent's playing so fast in such a tricky position, you know, you got to believe that they're going to make a mistake at some point. So, you take that. And now how do we finish off the game in the fastest way possible? Well, where's the weakest section of the board for this black king? It's like right around here. I've got my bishop, I've got my pawn. This is in the way from my queen. So what I'm going to do is go queen e2. And the idea is I'm threatening to take this. I'm also threatening to go to e5. So I have multiple ways to kind of invade into the position. Also clears the way for my rook, which is a very powerful piece. So here we go. I think I'm just going to invade. Queen to e5 check. And it's with tempo. It's with a check. So it forces him to move the king. He doesn't have time to develop his pieces, which is important. And now I think we just pile up. And I don't see an easy way for black to defend that. So here we go. We're going to take with the bishop first to just clear things up, and then, you know, if the rook can't defend, so I don't think black has any good moves. So let's go ahead. We'll take that with check. And the king is running out of options. I think checkmate should be very soon. Okay, so let's start with the obvious. Check. Nope, that's mate. So I don't even need to calculate anything else. I can just go checkmate. Cool. All right, game review. Let's take a look at that. There you go. All right, 80. Oh, okay, so we might have had a few mistakes in there. Did have a brilliant move. Let's see what the mistakes were quickly. Okay, castling b5. Ooh. Okay, there's a little tactic here, which I was unaware of, and I'm still not totally sure I quite understand it. What am I missing? Yeah, there's a nice tactic here. Wow, okay, it's knight takes b5. I'll just go ahead and tell you. I don't quite see what the follow-up is here. This is winning for white for some reason. Oh, wait, 95 you have knight f6. Rook takes f5. Yeah, I mean, I'm not even sure what's going on here, guys. Stockfish is doing its thing again. It's doing its thing. What is happening? Queen e2, so you're threatening to win the queen. And if they try to block, you go there anyway. Wow. So yeah, this one was deep. This one was quite deep, so I'm not surprised that I missed that. So the idea, let's just kind of recap this. So the idea is you give up a piece for 2 pawns so that black obviously doesn't want to have to play king e7. That's an awful move. Then your king is stuck in the center. You're going to lose for sure. So the only move that you can't go knight c6. You can't block with the queen. So the only move is knight to d7. Okay, that's fair. Knight e5, you attack it. Well, that's going to be a free piece, and again, bad for black if they don't defend. How do you defend? There's only one way. Right here. And then the reason you sack here is to open up the e file, because now black is all tied up in knots, essentially, right? You can't move the knight. You can't move this knight because you need it to defend. You have to stop you know, the knight coming here to win your queen. And so the only way is bishop e7, but then you go there anyway, hits the queen, and if the queen moves anywhere, you have checkmate. So you have to sack your queen, basically, is what Stockfish says. All right, that was deep. That was deep, but it was there. So, wow, don't feel bad if you missed that because I didn't see it at all. Okay, you go back, they develop, knight to g5, they blunder, knight takes f7, right? We talked about why this was good for us. And, okay, so Stockfish does say knight e4 was the best move, which I did think, you know, about briefly. Not totally sure why. Let's just say they, I don't know, bring the rook over. What's the idea? You want to take here, and then you want to take with the bishop. Interesting. All right. So sometimes there's not an obvious reason. I don't want to spend a ton of time. But I think bishop f4 was, yep, here was the tactic for this, which we talked about. Knight e4. Very good. All right, let's go to the next game. Okay, so as black, I'm going to be trying to play the Elephant Gambit. Well, never mind. I was going to say the Elephant Gambit. You cannot play the Elephant Gambit against knight f3. So let's just try to play like just simple chess. So we're going to get a pawn in the center. Okay, now we have a d4, d5 opening. Let's just play knight f6. Nothing wrong with that. We'll just keep it simple. How about that? Bishop f4. So they're going to play a London. Okay. What do we do against the London? That's the question. Sometimes I like to go and get this bishop right away. I've had good success with that. Let's play e6. And if they play e3, okay, they didn't play it yet. I'm going to give them a chance. I might try to go get this bishop. Actually, I could probably do it now because I don't think they really want to go bishop e3. So let's go ahead and do this. And the long-term plan is take the bishop, get the bishop pair, and then open up the position, and the bishops are better than the knights, right? That's basically what we're trying to do. So they go e5. How can I guarantee that I can get the bishop? Well, I could go bishop d6, but then we're going to trade bishop for bishop. I want to trade my knight for the bishop. So I'm going to play f6. Now, before I play f6, I have to make sure, am I okay with the weaknesses that I'm creating here? And right now, the answer is yes. I don't see white immediately being able to take advantage of that. It's going to take them some time. I'm probably going to have time to castle, get my king to safety. Also, my knight. Is my knight going to get trapped if I play f6? Well, the answer is no, even though it doesn't have anywhere to go to. Why? Because I can see very clearly that I'm going to get an opportunity to trade it for that bishop, right? So I think I'm okay with f6. Let's take. So, great. We captured the bishop. Now, is that the best plan in the position? Maybe not, but it's a plan, and, you know, mission accomplished. Now I want to try to focus on kind of opening up the position a little bit. So how do we do that? Maybe like c5, just to put the pressure on what white has got going on in the center here. Wow, e4, interesting. Okay. So I'm fine with that. If you want to open up the position for my bishops, I'm totally fine with that. Let me go with knight c6 just to attack. If they take me, I'm happy because then this bishop comes out to play. And yeah, should be good to go. We have to be a little careful because you know there's a rook here. There's some light squared weaknesses, right? So if a bishop and a queen somehow comes over here, we have to keep an eye on that. But I think we're okay. Bishop to b5. Okay, so I guess I don't know what they're trying to do. I'm happy if they want to trade this. I could play queen b6 just to ask the bishop a question of what it's doing. Yeah, I think I will. I think I will do that. And also clears the way if I want to castle. Getting ready for that. Okay, we could take either way, really. A lot of times I like to take this way, even though I get doubled pawns. Here's the thing about doubled pawns. They're not going to stay doubled pawns because I can see very clearly that somehow a pawn is going to get traded here, either this way or this way. And then it's not a doubled pawn anymore. Okay, and I think I want to take this way, undouble the pawns. This opens up my king. Yeah, I don't think we want to open up the king, so let's take this way. Okay, so they castle. There's nothing to worry about here anymore, but the e-file does become a bit more of a priority for us. So moving the bishop and castling seems like a smart plan. Don't really want to castle this way since this is open. I don't think I want to get greedy. I mean, let's see. Takes, what are you going to do? You're probably going to go knight to b3, and I could play e5 and just try to hold on to those pawns. If the rook comes to e1, I will block, maybe with the bishop here. And then I'll castle. Yeah, it's probably fine. But is it necessary? And am I taking risk that I don't have to? Actually, it's pretty annoying to have these pawns in the center. So I will do it. You have to be very careful, right? Because like allowing this kind of stuff, wasting time. But I do think these pawns are just going to be very powerful here. So I think I can get away with doing this. Okay, there is C3, and white can potentially bust everything open. Okay, so this is a critical moment because this is very dangerous, right? Obviously, they're going to take my pawn if I don't do something about it. Option number 1, bishop e6. Option number 2, bishop e7. Option number 3, king f7 is not out of the question. This king f7 permanently solves my problem of the pin. Now, the other question is like, does it open up, tactical ideas with the knight jumping in, the queen coming in? Maybe. So I don't know if I like that. Like knight takes e5, takes, queen h5 check. I have to be pretty careful. Maybe it's fine. Maybe I just go back and don't worry. Or maybe I play g6 and don't worry. So if I want to calculate that, I can. Or I can just play like a move like bishop e6. Because now if you take, I take, you take. Actually, that looks bad for me too. That looks bad, getting hit with the knight like that. No, they'll just sack and I'll be sad. Bishop e7, if you sack now, that's not as big of a deal. So bishop e7 could be a move. Would I rather king f7 though? Let's just say they go here. I take. Here we can block with the queen. No big deal. Oh, actually, that's a good defensive resource. The queen can come over at any moment. Yeah, so I think we're fine. I don't think white can get away with sacking that. So I am going to go with king f7. Get away from that pin. My pawn is very nicely defended now. And these pawns are going to be a problem for these knights. And now it's just a question of, okay, where do I want to put my bishops? Bring the rooks to the game. As long as there's no crazy tactic here. But noticing that my queen can come across is a very nice defensive piece. So yeah, I think we're fine. We're down on time, but everybody at this elo moves instantly every game. So that's just something to get used to. Okay, now what does that do? How does that change the position? Well, it opens up the queen. Okay, so they probably want to go check. Is that a big deal? I mean, g6, they take with the knight. I take, they take my rook. That is a big deal. Yeah, that is a big deal. So I need to react. And I'm thinking the easiest thing is to just play g6 right now. Stop the queen. Stop the knight permanently from going there. I mean, we have the bishop too, and then I can fianchetto this guy if I want. That looks pretty nice to support the pawns. Yeah, don't see any issues with that. The issue with this normally would be you weaken the dark squares, but in this case, I'm good to go. I've got the bishop to cover those. No problem at all. Okay, so if we don't take, they take me. It's probably fine. We could just push and the game goes on. But if I do take, check, aha, I'm losing my rook. I don't want to do that. Nope, don't want to do that. So, the question is, do I go here and allow them to take? Do I push? Why would I push? I don't know if that really makes sense. No, I think we just develop this bishop somewhere. Yeah, I'm thinking we go here, let him take, and then we push by. And if I need to play f5 to support it some more, I can. I think we're fine there. Yeah, so, okay. I think that's going to be good. Let's go. And I am paying attention to the time. When I hit that 3-minute mark, that's when I'm going to kind of start moving a little bit faster. And we're getting there. So I'll try to pick up the pace a little bit here. Okay, so they do take. And the reason I'm going to put, normally you got the bishops, you want to just open things up. But in this case, my king is here. I don't think opening up the rook in front of my king is the smartest thing to do. So I will play e4, and if they play f3, I'll probably play f5. I might just maybe at that point try to counterattack with the bishop doing something. No, I think I will go f5 first, support it, then bishop g7 to hit here. I want to make sure I can play bishop g7, move my rook, and get my king to safety if I need to. But I think we're going to have time to do that. f5 looks pretty solid here. Also, if they do, oh, they do. Okay. I was going to say, it also opens up their king. So they have to be a little bit careful too. And you know what? You know what? We might have a tactic here, guys. Let's see. g5. Does it trap the knight? It traps the knight. The question is it worth it? You take me, I take them. The queen comes in with check. Is that really worth it? I don't know. That's a scary position. I don't think so. I don't think so. That's a very scary position to be in. I think I would rather play f5. Bishop b4 is interesting too, just to gain a tempo. Because I'm behind in development, getting that bishop out quickly, I actually like that. Let's go bishop to b4. All right, so I hit the 3-minute mark. So let's pick up the pace. Oh, they're gonna sack again. Wow, this guy is just sacking everything. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take this. I mean, that's a rook after all, and it's an annoying rook, right? It's a rook that was causing me problems, so I will take that. And I don't know if they're gonna get much compensation for that exchange that they just sacrificed. Okay, they take that way, which hits the bishop, which would be with check. So which bishop do I want to save is the question. I think I'm going to take here. And then when they take, I'll just take with the queen. Then the knight has to move. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Okay, so we'll save that bishop. We capture with the queen. And this bishop is going to help me attack their king. So that's why I wanted to do it that way. Now my rooks are ready to come into the party. Yeah, this is looking pretty good. Still plenty of time, 2.5 minutes. No reason to panic. Okay, do we have checkmate? Checkmate. King goes here. Check. We have a perpetual check. All right, I will go with the check. They have to go h1, and then it's a question of how do we get our rook there? 1, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, let's do 1, 2, 3, I think. I'll go here first. Just scanning for tactics. There is a knight check that I have to pay attention to. My queen is undefended, so I'm trying to not blunder something. But I want to go here and here. Because if you notice, this king is strapped. I have the perpetual check. But I don't want a perpetual check, obviously, if I can win. Rook d5. Queen cannot check me. Queen could go there. Queen could go there. Then we could defend and move. I think we would have time to do that, actually. Oh, I just mouse slipped that. It's not an awful move, but I totally mouse slipped it. I was going to d5. Okay. Well, it's not... Thankfully, it's there are worse moves that I could have mouse slipped, but I wanted to go there. All right, now we have to change plans a little bit. Let me go here to keep the knight out. Yeah, that totally... I was going to go there, defend it, and then move my king. And then I would be in position to come over here. But because of the mouse slip, I didn't get a chance to go there. That was unfortunate. All right, it's fine. We still have a great position. No reason to panic. I just need to get... Maybe I'll go here, triple up, and we have the back rank mate tactics open up for us. Yes. Yes, I think that's exactly what we do. So rook's going to come here. The mouse slips, guys. We've had quite a few of them in this rating climb. I don't know what it is. I do not know what... Oh, you know what it might be? It might be the settings are different on this account than my regular one. I bet that's what it is. The click to move instead of drag to move or whatever it is. Anyway, scanning. Let me go here. I like that everything is defended this way. And also I'm thinking about sacrificing, not just yet. Got too many pieces, but I'm going to keep an eye on these possibilities. Too bad I can't get a rook over here though somehow. Would have been so nice if my rook... Imagine if I had 2 rooks here, right? Just boop, game over. All right, anyway. It is what it is. I wonder if I could go here, push the pawns. Could also invade like this. Not sure why. It just feels like it should open up some kind of opportunity. Let's say I sack. Oh. No, that can't be good, can it? I don't think that can be good. Oh, maybe it is good. Didn't see that. Maybe it is good. Did not see that one, guys. Oops. Okay. Let me try to focus here. We have checkmate if the knight moves, so we are in good shape if that happens. I forgot. That was actually smart. He was what's the name of that? Interference. He was interfering. I didn't see. Did not see it. Do I have a tactic here, guys? Wait a second. Bishop h2. Aha. Aha. That's a deflection. That was a deflection tactic. We deflected the knight. We got the queen. And now it's just... don't lose on time and you win. Let's just push it. Seems like the easiest and simplest thing to do. Push the pawn. Get another queen. Yeah. All right. Good game. I did miss that one there, so well played by the opponent. Yeah, so apart from that mistake, and I don't even know if maybe it wasn't even a mistake, pretty well played game. I am curious, actually, at the end there. Okay, ooh. So Stockfish says that this was good for white, and I'm wondering why. Oh, queen f3 check, not h5. f3, and if I because now you have the fork threat. That's what I missed. I was thinking if the queen's over here, not a big deal, but queen f3 is smart. Because I can't go back or I lose a rook. So the only move for me here is king g6, which I honestly probably would not have played that. But that's what Stockfish says. Then h6 to survive somehow. Queen d3, king f7. I mean, yeah. Okay, so there was a tactic. So the best move actually was, to just go bishop to b4. Hit the rook like that. Let him take it. Go for this. And you're happy here. Okay. Yeah, it was actually a very tricky position. A little bit trickier than I realized. All right, that being said, we got into a nice position here. And okay, rook d5 is what I wanted to play. Queen c4, I was going to go here. And then after he does something, I don't know, I was going to go here. Threatening this. Yeah, this would have been very hard for white to stop. Anyway, at the end... Oh, okay. So my blunder was a brilliant move. My blunder was a brilliant move. Brilliant. Brilliant. You sacrificed your rook, except I didn't realize that I was sacrificing my rook. Okay, and then you play e4, and you just go with the threat here. It's too powerful. Yeah. Nice tactic here. Of course, if the king would have moved this way, you guys see what I would have played? Bishop f4 check wins the queen. And if the king would have went this way, we have the fork, exceptional fork there. It's defended enough so you can't take. So however you look at it, we were winning the queen like you saw in the game, right? Okay, interesting game. Again, our opponents are not using their time. They just like to play speed chess for some reason. But let's keep going. All right. Bardamu 456. Okay, let's attempt the elephant gambit. Ah, perfect. So this is why it's nice, because you can play it a lot of the time. So knight f3, we're going to play d5. Okay, this is the elephant gambit. And they can take both ways, but a lot of people take with the knight. Well, a lot of people take with the knight. This person is not a lot of people. But anyway, if they take with the knight, you're going to take with the pawn. The bishop comes out. They're threatening here. You can play the wasp variation, which is what I wanted to show you. Queen g5. But we have to deal with this. So against this one, you push the pawn. I don't like this as much for black, because if they know what they're doing, they'll play queen e2 right here. And queen e2 is a really annoying move. And then I think you have to go queen e7, and it's just kind of awkward. They move their knight. I don't like it as much. I mean, I don't have to go. Okay, now they play knight e5. Yeah, this is weird. This is weird. I guess we just take the pawn. In the wasp variation, you want to play queen g5, but the whole point of that is to put pressure on g2. Right now, you can't even take that. This would make no sense. They would play d4 and we're in trouble. But I think in this position, we have to take here. Bishop c4 might look like a nice move, but it's not because the knight is hanging, right? They play d4 to defend their knight. Okay, we can en passant it if we want, and then I think they have to recapture with the knight. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, again, hitting the knight, so they go back. All right, so yeah, I think this is totally fine for us. I think this is actually a good position because our queen is so active. I'm going to just develop, starting with this knight. And on knight c3, hitting our queen, of course, we have bishop b4. Develop, keep the queen in the center. You know, it's hitting this. Oh, there's a knight here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. There is a knight there. There's not normally a knight on d3, so my instinct was like, just play bishop b4 and you're fine, but knight d3 is annoying. So they take me, I take, they take, I take. It's a trade. It's just a trade. Or we move the queen. I don't really want to move the queen, so I guess I'll go with the trade. Don't love giving up the bishops. Maybe I should move the queen. I just don't know where I'm going to move it to. e6? Seems weird. Okay, we're going to go with this. So we're essentially going to be trading these pieces and the queens. Okay, they don't want to go for it. So here, again, it's hitting my queen. So I do have to take this so we don't lose our queen. I mean, I don't have to, but if I want to keep my queen in the center, exerting pressure in all directions, then I have to take it. So, okay, we take it. That's a threat. So probably just going to develop. And you might say, Nelson, you're about to get some double isolated pawns, and you would be correct. But I'm keeping up the tempo, and I'm getting ready to get the bishop and castle, and white still has a bit of a problem because it's hard for them to do that. So yes, maybe white gets a little something, but you have to give up the bishop. This is a nice looking bishop too, so I don't think it's really that big of a deal. Now, if we end up just trading all the pieces and going to an endgame, yeah, I'm going to regret having those pawns, but the idea is I'm going to have active pieces and be able to put pressure on my opponent before those pawns really matter. Okay? All right, so this opponent's actually using their time, which is a bit rare, but it's smart. I mean, they're using their time before they're just in a losing position. They go with queen e2. Okay. So, normally I'm going to play bishop e6 immediately. In this particular position, I am thinking about the move king to d7, which looks totally absurd. Maybe king d8. The idea is, yeah, maybe king d8 to stay away from the knight checks. The idea is I'm immediately threatening rook e8 if I do that, to pin a queen. Looks pretty annoying for white. That being said, if they just castle, which is what they probably want to do anyway, that threat doesn't make sense. So yeah, that makes no sense. And then my queen is the one getting pinned. Yeah, okay, so we can't do that. So yeah, probably just bishop e6. There's a knight here. There is knight here. Very annoying move because let's say I just move my queen, then the rook can come over. You can also just take. Now this is do I have 94? But then you castle and I'm all. Let's see. I could castle. This knight's gonna move somewhere. I don't like it. I don't like it. Although I am hitting the bishop, so maybe it's not so bad. Okay, so 94. Oh, but what about... No, let's just say they just play something simple like f3. I just can resign. No, you can't do that. Okay, yeah, I think I have to play bishop e6. I don't think there's an option here. Yes, knight f4 is going to be an annoying move, but we have to just block that. Yeah, so this is interesting. And yeah, knight f4 is a good move, I think, for white. So obviously have to move the queen. The question is where. I don't like staying on the d file because the rook. So I'm thinking queen f5. I also need to defend my bishop, so I don't have like a ton of options. Yeah, you either stay here or you go here. I guess queen e4. Queen e4 I guess is an option. Let's see if he takes me. Trade. No, I don't like that as much. Let's go f5. Let's go f5. Now at least we're finally ready to castle. But somehow we didn't get into a great position. But what white did is very uncommon. Most people who take here play queen e2. Sorry. Most people who take here with the pawn play queen. They don't do knight e5 afterwards. So and then d4. Yeah, this is just weird. I don't know. I mean, it seems like it's fine. It's just strange. I think I want to keep the queens on the board for a little while. So let me take this way. Because here's the thing. The queen is blocking his bishop from developing. So allowing him to just trade it and then develop it immediately with a threat does not seem smart. This way, white has to figure out, okay, how do I get my bishop out of here? My bishop is stuck, right? Okay, they castle. I think I'm probably going to castle this way since that's the only way I can castle. First, let's just scan. Do we have any other good moves? Knight to d5. He takes. No, we have a fork. So we could go knight d5. It's the bishop. Where does the bishop go to? No. You go back. Otherwise, I'm going to take that annoying bishop. Then I'm going to castle. So, okay. Knight d5. It's such a powerful bishop. And two bishops against two knights on an open board is really, really, really dangerous, right? So seeing that I have an opportunity here with the use of a tactic to defend my pawn, okay? If white takes, I go here and win the bishop. I am going to... but there's rook takes d5. Okay, I thought I forgot about this move, man. Anyway, what I was going to say is the opportunity to trade a knight for a bishop lessens the danger that I'm in on an open board, right? One bishop is not nearly as bad as two bishops, right? Well, we're committed to this, I think, at this point. He does have rook takes d5, which I missed that one. Yeah, it's a good move. That's a good move. Ooh, yeah, this is a rough position, guys. This is very rough because the problem with losing that pawn is my king is not going to be safe like I thought it was. My king would have been safe here. Now it's not. There's all kinds of crazy stuff. I'm tempted to play rook d8 and try to get my king over this way. Also, we're down a pawn, so we can't really just trade all the pieces. We have to keep some pieces on the board. Yikes, 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 yikes. Not ideal. Oh, I can't go here. He's threatening this too. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Can I play knight to d4? Knight to d4. Let's see. There's a check. King e7. No. Maybe I should go queen e7. What I'm trying to do is attack the rook and defend the pawn at the same time. So queen e7. Check. Okay, queen g6 doesn't attack the rook though. King f7, no. King e7, no. King f8. Oh yeah, this is a really bad position, guys. Okay. Well, we have to make the best of it. So what's the best of it? Queen e7, check, we move. It's an awful position. It's so awful. Castle, and then tuck the king in the corner. Rook comes down. That's also pretty awful. What are you going to do? I mean, there's just no good moves. At least that I'm seeing. Maybe I have to just castle and try to hide the king in the corner and hope for the best. It's going to be awful, but... Okay, we got 2 minutes. We got a bad position. Yeah, our opponent, man, that knight f4 was super, super good. All right, let's tuck the king in the corner. We almost have back ranked stuff, but no, he's going to develop the bishop right now. And unfortunately, we just don't have anything. All right, now maybe there's some tactics. Let's see. Maybe there's some tactics that open up here. If we bring the rook. Okay, wait a second. Rook d8. Wait a second. Rook d8. Look at that. Look at that. Now you're in trouble. Did he just blunder this? You can't take my queen. You get checkmated. Can you defend your rook? Probably have to go back somewhere. There's also a rook here. Takes. Ooh, is that even better, guys? Oh. This might be even stronger. Because the problem with rook d8 is that he didn't have to take it. So he could just, like, move. This way, if you go for the trade, takes, you can't... Oh, no, you have bishop c4, maybe. Maybe he has bishop c4. Okay, this is a tricky position. Yeah, this is super tricky. But he's got a back rank problem. That's what I can tell you. So maybe I should have went rook d8. Maybe I should have went rook d8, rook moves, then rook e8. Yeah. Actually, no, because then there he can take. No, then he takes me, yeah. And then he has time. So maybe this was the best one. I don't know. It's hard to say without seeing what Stockfish says. But for now, let's just see if we can not lose on time. I think we actually have some counterplay here. So let's see. He takes, I take. Bishop c4. We have to find something. Rook d5. Or we just take, bam. We get the 7th rank. That's very good counterplay. Yeah, that's actually extremely good counterplay for one pawn. Having the rook there? Oh, yeah. Okay, so takes. That's what's going to happen there. If he moves the queen somewhere, it's just over, I think. Unless he has a place. No, you can't go there. You can't go there. You can't. So you can't block. And you can't control this square with your queen. So yeah, he can't move the queen. Well, I guess queen, yeah, but you don't want to lose your queen. So he's probably going to go for this and bishop c4. I'm willing to bet that's what he's going to play. He's thinking this long. He's probably coming to the same conclusion that he can't do this. Or maybe bishop c4 right away. Same difference. Takes. We get the same position. Rook here. He's got rook f7, which I don't love. Actually, rook f7. Okay, take the queen. Rook f7. Let's see here. I'm just going to do... I don't want to lose on time, so I'm just going to go with this. Maybe there's something else there, but I'm happy with my counterplay. I have a lot of counterplay now with the rook on the 7th rank. I don't know if it's enough, but definitely we can start to think about something here. Okay, so we're going to put the pressure on the bishop, on the pawn. He could take this if he wants, but then my knight's coming in. I don't exactly know what's happening. If he does that, I'm going to go here. And I'm basically saying, look, dude, you can't defend everything. Okay. Yeah, so this is good. This is real good. Okay, let's not let that happen. That would be bad. Let's go punch the pawn. Let's activate the king, I guess. Okay, what I'm going to try to do, guys, is defend this guy and then use my king to support this guy and win the game. That's what I think we can do. I think we can use the king to support and win the game. Because he's going to try to flag me, which means he might make a mistake here in a second. Okay. Okay, good, good. Here, keep the king out. I'm going to lose on time, though. That's the problem. Playing too slow here. Okay, I want to clear the way for my king. Okay. Yeah, he's just going to keep checking me. I guess I can go to A1. Or just block with the rook again. All right, we're catching up on time, though. That's the good news. Let me go here. Oh, I can't take it, or it's a draw. Oh, shoot. I just realized that. I can't take the pawn, guys. He's got a perpetual check draw. Nope, not anymore. He moved his rook away. Oh wait, he still had it actually. Yeah, I think he totally messed that up. He totally messed that up. Okay. Well, I think we got pretty lucky there at the end. I think he had a draw actually. Wow. That was too close. Man. Whew. Okay. Yeah, they played a good game. I thought they played a pretty good game, especially early on. They were playing some nice moves. I'll say that. Yeah, I will say very good player. Anyway, so yeah, we didn't really get a chance. Most people who take, then they play queen e2. Okay, 95 is second engine move. Interesting. I've never seen that before. And then d4 makes sense. Knight takes c3. Okay. Knight c3, yep. Yeah, bishop d2 was not like the best, but it turned out actually pretty good for white, which was interesting. Oh, I'm supposed to go here. Give up the pawn and go rook g8. Okay. I mean, it felt like I got into a bad position after this. Yeah, queen e2 was a great move. And then knight f4 was a great move. And then this was a pretty good trade. Yeah, this was good. White did a great job in the opening. And then even taking here, yeah. Okay, so I should have actually not gone for that trade and just played rook g8. Okay. And then here's where they messed up. Here's where they messed up. That was the big mistake. They forgot about the back rank. If they just play a move like bishop d3, I am in big trouble because now there's no more tricks. The rook's coming over. Now they are threatening this, which is even more powerful now. This, I mean, you name it. I'm probably gonna lose for sure. That's all they had to do. Yeah. Yeah, this was the best move. This one was interesting too, right? Because of course, if they take my queen, we come down for the checkmate. But I was like, they just move. Or even, oh yeah, Stockfish says, even just take and then go there. That's another thing. But this one, it's not so easy. Your queen can't go anywhere, otherwise, bam, we come down. So yeah, you have to go for this line like they did. You have to go for it. And then I played the best thing. Okay, I was actually considering this. I was considering this. And I thought after bishop d5, maybe I can move again. And somehow, I don't know what I was thinking, actually. Somehow I was thinking I was going to win a piece here. But no, this is, they just defend. Yeah. So I'm glad I didn't do that. This was the way to go. Takes. Okay, so yeah, we get quite a bit of counterplay. The rook on the 7th rank. Now, you can see Stockfish says, no, it's not enough. But practically, this is a lot of counterplay. And then they let me back into the game. Now it's equal. And this endgame was probably a total mess, honestly. I know they had a draw at one point. Right here. So I forgot. I was thinking the rook had moved away, but no, it didn't. They could just go check. And I have to go back and forth, and I can never get away from this check. See? Every time. Just back and forth. So if White wanted to draw and they saw that, they had it right there. Now, I don't know if they were trying to flag me and they didn't want to do that, or if they just didn't see it. But that's all they had to do. And then, yeah, I don't know. I probably missed something here. Yeah, that was totally not the right move. King g2. So you're threatening to do this, and when the rook checks you, you go to f2. And when this happens, you go check. King moves. You go here. I'm trying to see what Stockfish wanted me to do exactly. King f1. How did it want me to win? King g. Why does it keep telling me to go back and forth? King f2. How do you win, Stockfish? Rook f3. Okay. King g2. Oh, you use the rook. Yeah. Okay. There you go. That's what it wanted me to do. Use the rook, and then you push and you win. Okay. King here, you can just go check. And then you do it. That's the... Okay. All right, let me see. Let me play one more quick game here. Enough analyzing that one. Wow. But you can see, like, 1600, you know, these guys are much, much stronger. So I was actually very impressed by that opponent's opening play. Yeah, they played the opening very good. All right. I don't know about the French. Oh, sorry, guys. I have a headache. Hey, well, I'm happy. I didn't want to play against the French either, so thank you. Appreciate that. That makes my life better. Okay, let's try it one more time, guys. Let's see if we can get a more normal wasp variation. Take with the knight, buddy. Take with the knight. I don't know. Maybe there's enough people that know. Nope. There you go. Okay. Bishop c4 is what a lot of people do. This is a good example of why you don't spend all your time memorizing opening lines. Queen to e2 now. So Yeah, I don't know what's happened. This is super weird. Well, my gut is telling me to defend my pawn, like knight f6. But I could also... Yeah, let's just do that. Let's see. Queen c4 threatens checkmate, but I've got this bishop. Yeah, let's do it. I don't know what's happening here. I never seen this before in my life. This configuration here. Okay, so he attacks. All right, all right. I think we can just safely attack the knight and do it with the tempo. And I'm trying to prioritize the kingside pieces so that I can castle quickly. Especially when the queen is here, it's dangerous for my king. And also, once I get castled, my rook can come over and it's dangerous for white. So that's why these two pieces, as opposed to some other pieces, made the most sense to me. Yeah, now we have to be a little careful here. There is a queen lined up on our king. I think I just taken castle. Just taking castle. You got rook e8 coming. Super dangerous for white. I think white's in trouble, actually. So I didn't really calculate too much else, but this looks very, very good for me. Castle. The only thing I have to watch out for is like checkmate here, but we've got options. I say that. That's actually it's actually kind of annoying. I guess I'd have to play g6. Okay, they don't do it. All right. So rook e8 is probably the winning move. And the reason is because your knight is now really going to have problems. Okay, they're going for the checkmate. So f5. Check. We have bishop e6. I think I'm happy with that. g6 is a move. The only thing about g6 that I like is that I leave this pawn so that I can attack the knight. Because I want to really go here and take the knight with my pawn. Ideally. But f5 is a nice tempo gain. Which one's better? Well, if I go f5, check. Bishop e6. Or g6. Then you have to deal with the bishop coming down, though. That looks... No, I don't think we should create those weaknesses. I better go f5. Better go f5. Yeah, this is actually trickier than I realized it was going to be. I thought as soon as we get the rook here, it's over. But no, there's some interesting stuff happening here that we have to be a little careful. For example, bishop c4, it's not so clear. Because initially I thought I could go in the corner. But no, this knight coming in. I don't have time to take the queen, even though it's pinned. That's awful. So, okay, he goes with the queen. I think against the bishop, I was going to have to go bishop e6 regardless. But here, definitely, I think bishop e6. I want to develop. I want to do it with tempo. I think that's the best move. Like, yeah, we lose a pawn. Who cares? It's just a pawn. It's not a big deal in this position. And I think now we just keep going with the development. Go here. So this is now it looks much better for us. We've got 3 pieces out. You're castled. We have our rook in play. White still hasn't castled, and they're still trying to develop. So I'm happy to sacrifice a pawn for that. Okay, so we can win this. The question is, would I rather take with the knight or the bishop? I think I'd rather have my bishop. So I'll go like this. Oops, not like that. Okay, so down 1 pawn, but we get to attack first. Strange move. I mean, obviously they want to get out of the pin, but that seems wrong. All right, let's start with the most powerful threat, checkmate. Also this looks good too, getting the bishop here. We're taking first and then going back here. If I really want to be annoying, I don't know if I can get away with that. Yeah, I could go there immediately. Then queen h4. h3 maybe? Or I grab the pawn. I don't know if I want the pawn and the rook to be here or not. That's the big question. I don't think I really want that. Let me go here. I don't know. It just seems like it's positioning my bishop in a nice location. And I think I see something cool here, guys. I think we can go for the checkmate threat. Wait a second. Actually, hold on. What if we start with a sacrifice? Check, king goes. Queen goes here. No, I don't want to give up that for no reason. No, let's go with the queen. This looks good. So here we go. And obviously there's lots of things happening with the bishops and the queen, but I'm also thinking we can go rook e6, hit the queen, and then boom, slide over if we need to get even more firepower in the attack. And it's happening very, very fast here. So white's got to be real careful with their next move, I think. Yeah, like rook e6. If you play h3, rook e6, rook g3, I think it might be all over. It might be just over. Okay, so rook e6, what do you play as white? What do you do? Not seeing it, guys. This is very dangerous. And what I'll probably do is sack the bishop. And when the king takes, that's when we come over with the rook. And it's over. Let's see where the queen goes, because we might have to, deal with some potential threats. So let's see about that first. And we could even play it slow, like just defend and then attack next move. Or if it works, maybe we just go right for it with one of these moves. But like I said, first we have to see where this queen goes. Okay, so let's just hold our horses for a minute. Okay, he goes to a3. Doesn't actually threaten anything immediately. Maybe he wants to try to defend somehow. But going back to my original plan, if I take, you pretty much have to take me. If you don't, I mean, I'm just going to come in here and checkmate you. So you take, but then I go check with the rook. There's no way to block. If you go here, it's over. So you have to go to f3. And then what? Check. You have to run here. I mean, that's got to be... Oh, you know what, guys? Oh, I just noticed something. Haha. I just noticed something really cool. Instead of sacking here, we can sack the queen. We can actually sack the queen. And if the pawn takes, the rook comes over, that's game over. Look at the bishops. The bishops are amazing. You have to block, and that's checkmate with the rook. So yeah, this is probably just the easiest and simplest thing to do. Boom. That's a fun one. That's a fun one. I mean, it just goes to show, like, when there's so many pieces involved in attacking the king and there's, like, nothing defending it, you can even get away with sacking your queen. You just got to clear the pawns, and then it's over. And you could see, this is being blocked off by the bishop. This is being blocked off. These bishops are not on the right diagonals. The rook is actually hurting the king because you don't have an escape square. I mean, just everything about white's position is not ideal. So yeah, I think now we have to be a little careful because, like, if there was a discovered check here with this bishop on our king, then they could take our queen that way and we would lose. But there's no checks, right? This is not check. This is not check. So that should do it. I mean, I don't think... Let's see if there's any way they can get out of this mess. You have 2 checkmate threats immediately. So you would somehow have to stop both of those. So, like, for example, f3. Okay, f3, because you give your king an escape square. So let's see. How do we do this, guys? No, it's still checkmate. I see it. Yeah, do you guys see it? I still see it. There's our rook. Look at our rook. So it's queen, bishop. That's mate. Yeah, I don't think there was any moves they could have played to stop the checkmate. So good game to our opponent. That was a tough one. Okay, yeah, we had the brilliant move, which I assume was the queen sack at the end. And I mean, yeah, I didn't this queen e2 move. I've not seen that before. Knight f6. Excuse me. Oh yeah, interesting. Stockfishes, I had to play queen e7 to keep the advantage. Ah, because on d4 defending, you still have a pin. And so f6 is going to win you this knight. Aha. I didn't actually need to spend 2 moves by castling to get the rook there. I could just do it in 1 move, threaten it immediately, and get the pin, and then bam. I failed to realize that, so that was the way to go. Yeah, castling was actually a mistake, believe it or not. But then white kind of messed up. They got a little greedy. They played this really bad rook b1 move. This was kind of their moment where they could have finished their development. They could have gotten the queen to a better square. They could have done any number of important things. They wasted it with rook b1, and that just allowed me to just kind of jump on them. And then I guess here you had to go queen b4 to stop that. That wasn't your other moment to save the position. And after the queen got to h4, it was all over. Yeah, mate and 4. Mate and 4. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. As always, stay sharp, play smart. Take care.